Wonderful. Hello, and welcome to Deadly Dungeon, a community dungeon show presented by Regal Goblins and hosted by me, Nik Bowen. Today, we are heading into our final act of Deadly Dungeon. There are just 3 floors left, and we have a brave group of dashing, daring scoundrels, I would say, here to take us into the first floor of our final act. Please join me in welcoming our Harrison Ford, our Ford Harrison. What is your group called officially?
Farrison Horde.
The Farrison Horde. That is appropriate. So let's go ahead and meet our players and our characters.
It was coined by someone else in the Discord. I don't recall who it was or if it was one of us, but whoever it was. If that was you, Shadow? Fantastic.
Okay, excellent. Let's jump in. We have returning today. We have Millman playing Indy Ford. Welcome.
How's it going? Are we playing Indy today? So I am a rogue bard, 5 ranks in rogue and 1 rank in bard. As always, you'll see me with the mighty whip that everybody expects. You see him standing there, as you see him in Indiana Jones with his hat, just super confused the why he's not in the library.
Excellent. And we have joining us for the first time on the show. We have Zimix.
Zymox 22,
Zymox.
yeah.
Yeah, playing. We're just gonna call you Horde, Farrison the Mad.
Horde.
Yeah. Tell us about your character.
Multiple personality disorder, monk. The first one, 6th level, shadow monk, but more like chaos, crazy mad monk. You know, just has so many different lines and roles in his head. He's not sure who he is, but there's a horde of people up there, and they all come out at different times.
Oh my gosh! Can you give us a quick demonstration, or should we just wait and see it when it happens?
Well, let's just let's give it a minute. Let other people.
Okay, sounds good. We have a very cool token set up for everyone today. Returning yet again, we have Shadow playing the one, the only Deckard.
Yep, Deckard is he's a Blade Runner. Actually, he's standing there in a suit and a tie. He's got a trench coat, totally hiding the splint mail that he's wearing underneath it. And Deckard is a half-orc. He is a champion fighter. And he will be wielding a pike to hopefully great power in this one.
Yes. Yes. So I'm just going to go over this because I think it is worth kind of explaining all of this all at once so that we can all later on amidst combat understand what is going on when your character attacks. Okay. So you took the great weapon fighting style. You took the feat Piercer and the feat Polearm Master. So you, of course, with, the crowd favorite Polearm Master can hit things when they enter your threatening range, which is 10 feet, not just 5, and stop them in their tracks. But so with great, so you also have improved crit as a half orc. So you crit on 19s and 20s.
Yep, that's from the champion fighter.
Yes, so 1 in 10 chance to crit. When you crit, you have savage attacks from being a half orc, so you get an additional die. Yep. You also, as a piercer feat, when you crit with a piercing attack, you gain an additional die. So when you crit, you are rolling 4 die. 4 damage die. Yes, 4d10 plus your 4 damage. You reroll 1s and 2s on damage die.
I do.
And as a piercer, you can reroll one of those damage die once per turn.
Would he double the piercer damage since it just adds the dice to the roll?
No, it specifies when you crit, you gain an additional die. Okay, mm-hmm. And it's the same for the half-orcs savage attacks. I have this all written down here so I can follow it along, but I also want to make sure our viewers can follow along. We'll be taking your attacks a little slow.
Yep. My turn will either take 10 seconds or 2 minutes if I crit, so we'll see.
Wonderful. Okay. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have Han Solo.
Yep. Hi, I'm Leo. I'm in the Discord, Leova. I'm playing Han Solo, everyone's favorite, space rogue puckish, dashing. You know, the luck is always with him.
Very good.
I am a artificer artillerist, and also a warlock, who is dedicated to my patron, Jabba.
Wonderful. All right. So, my just as a quick point of information, for the holiday weekend here in the States, my mom is visiting and arrived like 2 hours ago, and unfortunately, we had already scheduled when she decided to come visit. But I informed her that maybe tonight, I'll kill all of the characters really quickly, and we'll get to hang out this evening. And she said, "Well, get on with it." So
the perfect way to one thing I forgot, my protector droid.
Oh yes, your protector droid will protect you from my mom's wrath.
Gonk, I believe. Gronk.
The Gonk droids, yes.
Little trash can droid. Everyone loves him. Kind of hangs around. Inconspicuous, just builds up morale because there's not trash littering the ground.
Perfect. All right. Well, unless there's anything else, we are going to move over to our floor of the dungeon.
Yeah, we do have one brief scene as an intro to things before we begin, if that's kosher.
Excellent. Just drag everyone over here. Can everyone see their tokens?
Yes.
I cannot.
All right. There's a lot of art assets on this floor, so it may.
So it's probably loading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as everyone may or may not be plunged in darkness, we will officially plunge everyone, viewers included, into the darkness. As we'll see shapes emerge in the distance, shapeless from nothing. One of them, tall, muscular, with what seems to be a headband around. The other, slightly taller, but lankier, thinner. He wears something on his hands, blades of some sort. And the other one, the third, just seems to be a silhouette of a regular human, humanoid of some sort. But he wields something in his hands, and it glints sharply in a non-existent light, as does a smile, murderous on his face. These three shapes move forward, and as they converge, a cauldron emerges in the center of them. They walk forward, revealing Rocky, the Titan of Strength, Freddy, the Titan of Nightmares, and Jack, the Titan of Greed. They glance deep into the cauldron as they hold hands and dance around, cackling to probably some terrible evil rhythm. And in the depths of the cauldron swirls the beautiful face of an older man that we all recognize. And then there's a quick flash. 2. That same face, except he is standing at the edge of a waterfall, looking down. He jumps. Then another flash. That same face, in a suit, on an airplane, punching some faceless goon. He grabs him, leaps out of the airplane, and then flash to that same face, except this time younger somehow, in a military gear. The darkness kind of opens in a square of light, and he jumps from plane, parachuting down into a thick green jungle. And then, back to darkness. We see those shapes all together. One flashes, then the other, then another, their forms melding and entwining in each other. In front of them, yet another dark shape, except this one. There is a light coming from below him, animating his thick glasses as he pulls them down. The face of George Lucas. He says, to this strange shape. I offer you a deal. A remaster of sorts. You seek to be whole once again? Back to your universe? Back to who you were? Back to what you are? What say you? What say you?
I must get back. I just know I didn't kill my wife. I'll find the people that did.
Very well. You will
Get off my plane.
You will suffer, but in the end, you will achieve the remaster you seek. And then, as everything fades, the camera lingers on this shape for a moment. As he grabs the fabric around his neck and yanks, cut to black.
And then the next thing that you realize, each of you, you find yourselves awake, conscious, here. You're not quite sure how you got here, but here you are nonetheless, in a room with stone tile or stone brick walls and ceiling, and a tile marble floor with bookshelves and some reading sofas and your companions.
I yell into the ether, "You broke the law!" As I look around at all the people around me, like, what the hell? Wait, they all look like me. This is interesting.
You look like me, but you're not me because I'm me.
Is this my head? Am I in my head?
No, I'm pretty sure I know who I am. I don't know who you guys are. Are you sent by someone to reset my drop?
I remember somebody saying remastered, but I don't know about sending anything. Nothing. It was a choice. I'm not sure. Confused.
I think at this point, Deckard moves over to the chair. He sits down, pulls a couple pieces of parchment out of his backpack, and holds them like a newspaper in front of him, sitting a little worried, looking at these three people who look exactly like him. And then he starts speaking in exposition, like the narrator was narrating for him, but he's actually talking, and I don't think he realizes it. He says, "They don't advertise for killers in a newspaper. That was my profession. Ex-cop, ex-Blade Runner, ex-killer." And he looks at these three faces in front of him like his own, that look like his own face. And you see him ponder and worry.
Could these be replicants, perhaps?
I think that's the thought that's going through his head right now.
You'll see Indy. Oh, I'll quickly get one in before we move on.
Yes.
You see Indy walk up to Han and he looks him up and down and he like dusts his shoulder off and he's like, "You belong in a museum."
Hey, watch who you're talking to, pal.
Oh boy. For those of you who have not seen Harrison Ford movies, I feel sorry for you this episode.
Well, you got a lot to do after this.
Yeah. Gotta go watch Blade Runner, Patriot Games, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, all of them. Oh boy.
You've probably seen at least one of them, so enjoy it. It'll be good.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Okay, before the roleplay continues, can I have everyone just roll... Well, I don't suppose we need to roll initiative quite yet, because there's no reason to, I suppose. Unless there's going to start being some spells cast. But let's move on. Who acts next?
I guess I'll go look around the room. What's up with these the sconces in the wall? Do they emit heat? Do they emit light? Are they removable?
The sconces look affixed to the wall. The metal rod holding it goes straight into the stone and does not appear to have any like bolts or anything here on this side of the wall that you can interact with. Although you can try and pull it out, but discover that it is quite fixed in there. They emit light and no heat, and they do not appear to be burning any sort of fuel. The light is just emanating from nowhere. Yeah.
In that case, I'll go over to this chair and sit down. Looks pretty comfortable.
Very good.
I kind of wiggle around. Does the chair move? Is it affixed to the ground?
Let's see how evenly and the feet are and how well made the craftsmanship. Oh my god, where did all my d20s go? There's one.
There's enough chairs in this dungeon that maybe this is the one with that rolls in that one, right?
You give it a good wiggle and find that the chair is perfectly flat and will just slide with like really heavy momentum. And from this vantage, Han, you can see several of these bookshelves in just pristinely organized fashion with the books. And then there's this strange double door here. And on the door are these strange runes arranged in 3 concentric circles. One inside another. You do not understand what the runes mean.
I think Deckard will get up at that point and start walking over as he has a weird urge to look in his pack, and he finds 40 arrows and he hands them over to Indy and says, I think these are for you, and I don't know why, and I don't like it. And then he'll walk over to Horde and say, I think you have something for me.
Yeah, there's... this isn't mine, and there's a shield. It's like kind of strapped to part of my back, and I don't use these things. I could throw it, but I throw it at you to 5 feet.
I'll grab it and put it on my back.
And as I'm settling into this chair, I will realize that there's a giant whip on my back. And I'll yank it out and say, This is more your style, boy.
Thank you.
I'll give it to Indy.
Oh, I wish whips were justifiable as a weapon in Dungeons and Dragons.
I know. I've ran a whole campaign of a paladin using a whip, and you don't want to use it because they have to be the 10 feet distance. Otherwise, you're just rolling at disadvantage. It ruins your day.
And the damage is just bad.
Mm-hmm.
Just for style.
Yeah.
And then you have to, I believe, look over the whip and make sure it's good to go. Because
yeah,
hands it.
I'll see that it's inscribed and has a weird feel to it, so I will attune to it, study it, get to know it. As a scholar, a man myself, I would definitely be intrigued by the whip.
Okay. So
on the handle in small letters, Lucasfilm.
Property of Lucasfilms.
So Han, you are the artificer, which means you have some infused items, and as a level 4 artificer, I believe you're allowed 2. And it looks like you chose a +1 whip.
Yep.
As well as a enhanced arcane focus, a wand, so that gives you +1 on your spells, right?
And I think he ignores some cover with that too.
Oh, sweet.
Maybe like half
perfect.
cover.
Yeah. Okay, +1 to attack rolls, and you ignore half cover. Wonderful. Very good. Nice.
And I assume I'm already attuned. If not, I will attune to it.
Attunement in the dungeon to items takes 1 minute.
Yep.
Or 10 rounds. So while Indy is attuning to that, what is everyone else doing?
I think Deckard walks over in his inquisitive nature, keeping an eye on these, like in the back of his head, and looks at these bookshelves. And I start searching for something about maybe like a river crossing, maybe a ford.
Very good.
I mean, I've had that one since Wednesday. Thank you.
Oh man.
Oh, we're in for a treat tonight. Okay, give me an investigation check as you spend some time scouring these books for anything about a river or a ford. All right. We will come back to you after you spend some time searching, discover what you find. What is Horde doing?
I'm actually doing the same thing, not even realizing that he is as well. I'm at the one on the map over there. I'm just gonna. I'm looking for clues about my wife because right now he's Richard Kimball. Looks a little like a big old beard kind of a thing, shadowy, all like looking, and I wonder if there's anything in here about those bastards that killed my wife.
Dr. Richard Kimball from The Fugitive, for those of you wondering what character is being played at the moment.
Yeah, maybe there's some literature in here about pharmaceutical companies or what his wife did for research, because you never know.
I'm proud to say we're the first group to have broken the 4 PC rule. We have 8 PCs.
You sure do. Okay, and then Han, what are you doing? And Horde, feel free to give me an investigation check as well.
I am hanging out in the chair, kind of idly browsing around. If I see anything interesting on the bookshelves, perhaps anything in regards to navigation or history of the area, I'll take a glance. I'll kind of nudge the protector droid over to get it out of the way, maybe to help me.
Oh, right. Okay, so artillerists have three types of cannons they can choose from. So it sounds like you have constructed the protector cannon.
Correct.
Okay, and that's the one that as a bonus action can grant temporary HP, right? Okay, wonderful. We're playing with one of those again. Oh my god, a lot of
let me
text.
actually erase the stuff that's not relevant.
That's okay, I'll highlight it for the viewers. It's just this bit at the bottom. I believe this is an AC 18 creature, or not even a creature, just an object with like, I think 5 HP for each level.
It's a small object, AC 18, 15 hit points.
Yes. And then the protector cannon emits a burst of positive energy that grants itself and each creature of your choice within 10 feet of it a number of temp HP equal to 1d8 plus your intelligence modifier. What is your intelligence modifier? 4? 3?
Plus 1.
Okay, so that's going to be a lot of temp HP. Wonderful.
And I'll go ahead and just use that before we move along a couple times, so max out at the 8 before we go along, if that's okay.
Sure.
No, I'll just roll it a couple times.
Yeah, let's roll it. Let's roll it each time here. But I guess you have a minute here, so feel free to roll it like 10 times until you reach that max temp HP you're looking for, I guess.
Deckard will yell over to Horde and say, "Hey, get over here."
Let's.
Hey, no, we get 7 HP. The highest I rolled was a 6.
6 plus 4, everyone can take 10 temporary HP.
No,
he shifts and will walk over.
So it's 7.
I thought it was
Sir.
The die plus 4.
Reporting for duty, sir.
Die plus intelligence. My intelligence is plus 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard you say plus 4. Okay, so 7 then. Wonderful.
No, yeah, 7.
I must have misheard. My bad.
Oh, good.
All right.
I'll take that happily. But
Two quick things before we move on.
Yes.
Apollo, do you want us to put that in our red bar then? To keep
Yeah,
track of it?
if you go ahead and click on your tokens, you'll see the green has your HP. You can click on that bubble and hit like minus X, minus 7, like if you take 7 damage, and adjust that directly. And then the red one you can use for temp HP, and then the blue one I just use for your AC. Perfect. Okie dokie.
Awesome. And
So-
the last thing that I was reading up, I think his cannon has 20 hit points. Because it's 5 times his artificer level. And he's level 4.
Okay,
Oh, I apologize. I was level 3. My mistake. Thank you.
there we go.
We do have 9 temp HP right now. Is that correct?
7.
I have 7.
7. Okay.
It was 6 plus my int mod, so plus 1, so 7.
Duh. Okay.
Okay, cool.
And if you click on your token and you click the little gear, you can set the red bar to 7 out of 7, and they'll give you that little bar. And if you leave the other ones blank, you won't have a bar. So
I just have to make sure I hit enter when I do it, so
Yeah.
it saves it.
Yeah. Okay, so for those of you searching books, you come across lots and lots of books with tales of adventurers, heroes, champions, some scoundrels such as yourselves, or perhaps someone else, framed in criminal acts who didn't actually perform them. Many of these books are in languages that you understand, others are not, but neither of you really find exactly what you're looking for.
After my attunement, can I check the bookshelves once?
Yeah, you can give it a quick glance over. What are you looking for exactly?
As I said before, just history of the area,
Yeah.
navigation, like star chart type stuff, where we are, what's going on.
Okay. If you're giving it just a quick glance, it's perception for just like spending a turn, just glancing. If you're going to spend some time on it, it is investigation.
Yeah, I'll start with perception.
Okay. Nothing catches your eye.
Fair enough. I'm just lounging in the chair, hanging out. I'm not really trying too hard.
Okay.
Well, after attuning, I'm going to head towards the door and say, this looks interesting. Do we plan to sit around all day, or are we going to find out what's up with this door and get out of here?
Oh, sorry, Apollo. Should I have control of the cannon for movement purposes?
Oh, sure. Let me give you control of that.
As you're doing that, Deckard will flex his right hand. You'll see that the ring finger and the index finger look broken from a prior battle with a replicant, to the point that he can no longer use his gun. So you will see him heft a big pike in one hand as he sits next to Indy and then says, I agree, let's move forward.
How do you suppose that works?
I believe you should come over here to the door.
Come and have a look.
The door's down there.
Alright, I'll quickly do an investigation on the door, I guess.
What are you looking for?
I want to know what all these marks are. Maybe run my hand down the door and see what happens.
Okay.
While I'm investigating it.
Investigation is going to have a higher DC than something like history or arcana. Investigation is, I think, would just be kind of like trying to understand the relationship of the runes and just use the clues.
I guess I can do a
itself.
history.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I have no idea.
Indy, you've never seen anything like this before, and it is baffling to you.
I apologize. Quick question for the auras and ranges and stuff. Do you go by 10-foot like radius auras or 10-foot like square, like 2 squares?
It will just be a 10-foot measure, which is 2 squares.
Okay. Just double checking.
Yes. Okay. So Indy, you're
I'm baffled by it.
Yes.
So I'll put my hand on it and be like, I've never seen anything like this door before. I wish I could take it back with me and study it, understand this language. And I'm going to have my hand on it.
Deckard will... Go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry.
No, you. Go for it.
Deckard will motion Horde and Han to step in front of him, and he will also reach out for the door, readying an action to touch it when everybody else does.
Yeah, always best to have smartest folks in front.
I'll just follow suit. Whatever. When in Rome.
And I motion to my droid, come along, G2.
Do I have to put my hand out? My guy's putting his hand out. What am I doing?
Yeah. So over the course of we'll say 2 rounds, you all realize that as you place your hand on the door and really spend a lot of effort focusing on it, the runes begin to respond to
what the bloody hell?
Yeah.
I with my free hands.
Yes. So as you place your hand on the door, you see the innermost ring begin to light up as you like exert a ton of concentration on the door. You know, trying to push it open, thinking about like the concept of moving through a door to another space. And basically, you must use your action for 3 rounds to concentrate on the door. It's not concentrating in the sense of like maintaining concentration, and that would break concentration of a spell, but you must act consecutively 3 times to move through the door.
Horde mentally goes through doors in his brain all the time very quickly. Can I maybe just go through it in 1 round? No, I'm kidding.
If only. If
I'll-
only.
I concentrate very heavily, brow sweating as I shift forms.
Excellent. Very good.
Actually do it that time. There we go.
All
Growing
right.
a beard now again.
Oh,
So
I didn't kill my wife.
got a little something on your everything.
on round 19, you all will move through the door. Boop, 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 and boop. And let me zoom out here, let me change some music, and let me describe what you see. So, you all find yourselves in a great hall of a castle. The walls go up, 20, 30 feet. There are chandeliers, great chandeliers above you, emanating light throughout the whole room. Before you are these 4 statues of giant ravens. And standing in the middle of the room is a man, a raven man, like a crow man, dressed out in just absolutely ornate regalia. Indy, you would recognize this as, given your historical knowledge of different societies and cultures throughout history, this is definitely like the garb of a royal. And you definitely feel like you are in the presence of someone of great posterity. This man, the Raven King, wields a crossbow, but it is at his side. It is like holstered in something at his side. He also has equipped on him, under his garb, you can see what appears to be like chainmail. And he too, Indy, wields a whip, which is wound and held at his side. His, however, is made of steel. You can see like individual barbs kind of like linked to each other. And it is a fine kingly weapon that you have, I'm sure, great respect and appreciation for.
Han looks over at Indy and says, "Hey, you want to get yourselves one of those?"
I know. The king definitely knows how to be a king. Bit of a show off, really.
You have finally arrived, beckons the king. Welcome to my court. I have been expecting you all, sent by Lucas the Grand, my wise advisor. Come, I must tell you of what job I have hired you for. Step forward and present yourselves.
Yes.
I guess since I actually talked to the guy, yeah, I totally I transformed into the lawyer version of myself. So the proceedings seem to be in order, Your Honor.
My lord is how you shall address me.
My lord, indeed. I look around at the room and the magnificence.
Very good. You all look like a fine party, worthy of the job I have for you. Is there something you wish to say? You in the back.
Oh, I merely wish to greet you, oh great Lord, King.
Welcome.
And, Han sort of does like a little small half bow.
Excellent. Very good, very good. As Lucas the Grand and I have decided, it is time for me to clean house. My rabble of other advisors have proven unworthy, and they must be reminded of who is in charge. You all will slay 4 of my advisors for me, and then, and only then, you will come before me to receive a kingly reward.
Oh, that's easy enough. That's one each, boys, right? I'll take number 3.
I don't think it's going to be that easy.
Deckard will ask, what can you tell us of these advisors?
You would be fools to try and fight them one-on-one. They have slaughtered many of my enemies and fought them into submission when they've been feeling kind. Each of them will prove a great challenge for you. And he will look at the room, around the room, and point to each of the 4 doors and 2 stairwells that you can see. And above them are various signs that indicate in common what each of them lead to. So over here is a sign that says the Armory. Here is a sign that says the Battlements. Here, the Firing Range. The Kitchen, the Nursery, and the Red Lodge. Behind the Raven King is a absolutely ginormous double door that depicts the Raven King. It's kind of like one of those old 80s, if you look up the posters for I think Blade Runner would be an excellent example of this. You've got the Raven King is holding his crossbow and his whip in another hand, and there are various other embossed images of various creatures or people that you see, and there are in fact 7 of them. No, 8. There are 8 of them. And he says, I will leave it up to you to decide which of my advisors you would kill. Some of them come in pairs, such as Bob and Sarah in the Red Lodge, or Frim and Fram at the Battlements. Others fight for themselves, such as, I didn't name that one, Cascara in the Firing Range, or Gorbis in the Kitchen, or perhaps Agara in the Nursery. And I'm going to decide on a name for the one in the Armory, which I did not come up with a name for. Let's...
So, if this works, you're going to be the Postmaster General, because I transform into the president, right? And he's he points at one of the Deckard guys, if this works, you're going to be Postmaster General, acting all presidential.
Mm-hmm.
I call Sheriff.
Yes. Forgive me.
I trust you with my life.
My wits are not about me today, but it is Broader who you will find in the Armory. I have many other duties I must attend to. Do you have any questions? I have time for perhaps 2.
No, I'm good. Anybody else?
What have these advisors done to draw your ire, my lord?
They have stolen from my hoard. They have conspired against me. Some even wish to take my throne. They are all fools, thinking that they are stronger, wiser, more regal than I. None of them are, and you shall prove it for me today. And again, you will be rewarded.
Yes, my lord. I do have a question. Must we observe any special policies or rules while in your kingdom, such that we respect your wishes and the rule of your land?
Just the common courtesies and decorums that you would expect of any court.
Excellent. And I'll do a little half bow again.
You must be ruthless, though. Do not give them time to try and sway you with words. I have time for one more question if you have any, otherwise I must go.
That'll be all.
Okay.
My lord.
He nods, and the Raven King will turn and begin... No, he will not turn. He will not turn his back to you. Absolutely not. He will simply disappear. He will just vanish. and you will discover that what was before you was in fact a mirage, some sort of illusion.
I think Deckard will turn to Han and say, "You heard the man. Don't let them sway us with words. Make sure you shoot first." And then I will ask the group where we should go first.
I kind of get
feeling-
out of my blaster. I say, "Well, I'm pretty much stocked up, so I don't need to go to the armory. Everyone's doing good, right? Maybe go to the nursery after someone gets banged up."
I'm up for anything.
I'm feeling a bit peckish though. How about the kitchen? Could use a
I think the kitchen's a good idea. Apollo, this one is the kitchen down here, correct?
That's correct. Here, I think I will just go ahead and reveal my GM notes here and move them to the map layer, just so you can see these.
Love it.
Yeah, we'll head to the kitchen.
Yeah. Deckard moves down.
If you want to reveal the one that's a death trap, you're welcome to do that too.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Hang on. Well, let me get to that one.
Every single one.
Yeah, it's pretty much all of them. Okay, let me just go all of these. Okay.
Oh, poor Roll20 is struggling.
Yeah, this is a, this floor doesn't have as many assets as some of the other floors, but it's still quite a bit. What's that?
One of us is like 6 people, so I kind of blame that guy.
All right.
Like 1,000 people in this call.
So all of these doors, once again, have the 3 concentric circles of runes that you used to move from the previous room through the door magically, or by some strange means. And this one says kitchen above it.
All right. Let's go get a feed.
Okay, so you all line up near the door. Please move yourselves up to the door and in the, I guess, the arrangement you would like before you begin traveling through the door.
Deckard will wave you forward. Be like, "Come on, forwards, boys, wherever you are, line up. Let's go."
Han, shouldn't you take that front spot?
Yes, that's right.
All right, and the cannon can. I think that you said this was a small object or maybe a tiny one. Okay, it can just hop in like into your arm or on your shoulder or something, Han. And we'll move you through together if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's fine. And you can probably like shrink the token if you want, so it doesn't take up all the space.
Sure. I think it's still going to snap to the corner of the square that it's in, but that's okay. All right. So you all spend 3 turns in this position before moving through the door. Let's go ahead and move in and see what we find. All right. You find yourselves in a massive, massive kitchen. Everything is a bit larger than you would expect it to be. The tables come up to like shoulder height for those of you who are medium-sized creatures. For those of you who are small, you can move under these tables freely, in fact. The countertops are also at a similar height, and the wash bins, massive, the stoves and other implements, large, and you immediately see the reason why that is, and that is because there is a giant on the other side of the room in what looks like chef's garb. The chef will, tending to a a wood stove, burn baked pizza in the stove, will quickly turn and face you all and say, "You all, the king has sent you, hasn't he? Well, you'll make a lovely stew." and he is going to proceed to grab a cleaver on the table in front of him and engage combat. So let's go ahead and have everyone roll initiative. Go ahead and click your token, and in the top left corner, you should see an initiative button pop up. Similarly, you can roll from your character sheet. So go ahead and keep our combat music.
I'm rolling in rare form already.
Ooh, nice job, Han. Nice roll. Okay.
Han
Is it-
is hungry. He wants some of these things.
Is it just me, or does the music just sound awful on Roll20 tonight?
Well, last time I couldn't hear it at all. This time I actually can hear it, and I feel like I'm playing like an old school Final Fantasy game, so I'm not complaining at all.
This sounds weird.
Coming through fine for me.
Okay. I might need to refresh it on our first break and see if the quality improves. Okay. All right. So here is Gorbis, the kitchen giant. And we will go ahead and sort our initiatives. We have Han, Indy, Gorbis, Horde, and Deckard. All right. Han, you are first.
Right. Han looks at this big, chunky, chefy boy wielding a cleaver and threatening him. He says, "Hey, I just wanted a little something to eat. Why so hostile?"
I know why you're here.
Well, how about this? Maybe if we make you something nice to eat and leave us alone? No? Eldritch Blast. And I just pull out my blaster and I unload on him.
Okay. Sounds like you're using the attack action.
Nope.
All right. So this is Eldritch Blast, which has a range of 120 feet, and these are large rooms, so I'm going to check. Yep, that is definitely within 120 feet. A 24. Right, you have this +1 on your Eldritch Blast, which you reflavored as your blaster, and you have +1 from that magically enhanced arcane focus. So a 24 will definitely hit. It's worth mentioning that Gorbis appears to have like a huge leather apron fashioned of like several hides of animals. And he also has just a huge pan, which he tries to use to deflect your Eldritch Blast, but it misses. He is using this as a shield.
He will take just a couple of damage.
2 damage.
But I will try and push him into the fireplace here.
Ooh, okay. So can you go ahead and link me the Eldritch Invocation you are using?
Yep, I have Repelling Blast attached.
Oh, it's right there. Oh, perfect. Yep. When you hit a creature, you can push the creature up to 10 feet away from you in a straight line. You are at an interesting angle from them, so I think they're going to move back this way, and they'll kind of get pushed into the countertops behind it, which will stop the rest of the movement.
And I have a second shot with the blaster.
Oh, right. Actually, just so in case it matters in the future, I think you need to declare your targets for all of them in case there are multiple targets ahead of time, and you need to roll them all at once.
I think that's the rule for Magic Missile. Since these are all separate attack rolls, I believe you can do them separately since you can kill the target and then move on. For something like a Magic Missile, which fires all the bolts at once, you have to target them.
I think Eldritch Blast works the same way.
I think it does.
I think Apollo's right.
I've played a lot of Warlocks in the past, and I remember it working that way, but I'm going to just double check because I actually haven't played one in a while.
I thought you could target different people, but maybe not break it apart, right?
Yeah, so the spell creates more than one beam when you reach higher levels. You can direct the beams at the same target or at different ones. Make a separate attack roll for each beam. Ooh. Let's look at Magic Missile really quick.
Yeah, Magic Missile says that you create separate beams that all happen at the same time.
Is it specific about that?
Yeah. They all happen at the same time. It's to stop reactions like block and stuff from paladins.
It's simultaneously. Let's see. Do multiple beams happen simultaneously?
Well, this is going to be great.
Oh, yeah, okay. I guess I misunderstood this when we did Fatal One all those years ago. Jeremy Crawford, the designer, one of the designers for the game, says multiple attacks on the same turn are not simultaneous unless a feature specifically says otherwise. So you're right. You're absolutely right.
Like with attack rolls, you have features, you have all sorts of stuff that comes into play. There's a whole lot up front. Once you start splitting rolls, you just start splitting the whole thing separate, basically.
Okay.
That makes some sense.
Yeah.
As opposed with like Acid Splash, it's attack save both targets at once. Magic Missile, you blast the whole thing at once. This is one at a time.
Yeah, and I guess Magic Missile's different because they like automatically hit unless there's shield or whatever else involved.
Yeah.
So
True.
He dies. Okay, all the rest over it.
Right, exactly. Okay, yeah. So second attack.
All right, man.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for helping clarify that.
It's something that comes up a lot, and I pick it up a lot.
Yeah,
Hey, I'll take the second
that's
hit.
another
Nice.
hit.
These rolls, man.
Oof.
Yeah,
Let's keep them coming, please.
right into that wall. Slam against
Tell me
it,
about it.
there, knock some fork loose, mess them up a little bit.
All right. Bonus actions or any movement, Han.
Yeah, bonus action, I will activate my Protective Sword,
Okay.
which I have adjusted. It will emit a small shield for
Oh,
6,
nice.
but we only have 7, so it doesn't change anything.
Right. Yes. Okay. Any movement for you?
Yeah. What is this right here?
Yeah. So this is a wash bin. Like there is. It's for like washing hands and dishes. There's a bunch of dishes piled in it. You can pull a lever and water comes out. And below it, or next to it, looks like a trash can, perhaps, maybe. It's really weird. It looks almost like a chest, but also a metal trash can.
How big is it?
The trash can?
Yeah.
Just like the size of a chest.
Okay. So it's about same size I am. So I'll move up to it.
Okay. And your cannon will come with you since it's riding on you.
Yep.
Okay.
And I believe that is my turn.
All right. Indy.
Alrighty. Yeah, that's it.
Let's not get
So
DMCA'd here.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm
it's
not
good.
very good at music anyway, though, so hopefully I can
Music
off
will
enough.
cover.
I will move here, and I guess I'll leave my my whip on my hip, and I will fire with my bow.
Okay. A
21.
21 will hit.
Nice.
Again, the giant is like flailing around the pan trying to deflect these ranged attacks. And to no avail, it will be struck for another 6 damage.
Is he able to be 10 feet farther back in the corner from the second repel, or is that not really the line effect?
I think given the angle, this is the where he's going to be.
Cool.
I think he once again gets kind of like shoved back against these this counter and the stove to his side.
Okay, so
And
it is shoved back against that counter there. Okay.
But he kind of like stumbles forward again after the hit into his squares. Okay, second attack, Indy, or anything else?
I don't think I get a second attack, so that'll be it for this turn.
Ooh, okay.
Good.
All right, Gorbis will get to go next, and we'll get to see what this custom creature, which I'm very proud of, has in store for us. So the Gorbis is going to begin whistling. Very much, if any of you have seen Guardians of the Galaxy, this is going to be very much like Yondu, where he begins whistling, and various implements around the kitchen come to life. He uses one cook in the kitchen, and as a bonus action, the kitchen giant telekinetically directs his implements, moving each of them up to 20 feet and directing them to make attacks. So I'm going to go ahead and on the screen reveal some various tokens. I just need to find
We're
them
about
all.
to get forked up, boys.
Yeah.
All right.
We're about to get served.
So we have here several flying knives, cleavers, a pot, and a kettle. And as a bonus action, he's going to direct all of them towards you all. So let's start with the cleaver that goes 20 feet this way. The knife is going to go 16 feet to there. The pot is going to come right here towards you, Indy. The knife is going to move 20 feet, and the cleaver is going to move
This is
to
awesome.
there. Oh, and the kettle, of course. The kettle.
Don't forget your kettle.
Going to come there. All right. And
The
two
pot calls back to the kettle. Says, "Hey,
Yo, let's do this. These all are going to use the stat blocks of flying swords. And you are going to receive 2 attacks, Indy. First from the flying pot and from the flying knife.
The knife will hit.
Okay. The knife will hit you for 4 slashing damage.
No
I'm gonna
worries.
Start rolling for these.
I'll come off the temp HP."
Yes, of course. So that is a bonus action. Gorbis is going to start moving. Oh, what is Gorbis's movement? There we go. 30 feet to here. Let's see here. With one hand with the pot that he's been using to deflect, Gorbis is going to, with his second hand, he's gonna grab I mentioned he grabbed a cleaver, a cleaver that has not been animated, and he is going to throw it at you, Indy. I think you're within range. He is going to fling cookware with a 26.
Ooh.
Yep, that'll hit.
For 14 bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, that's a big knife, big cleaver.
And that is Gorbis's turn. Horde, it is your turn.
All right. I am going to, as a bonus action, use my Shadow Step. And I guess it says 55 right there, 60 right there. Does that mean I can probably go to this one?
Hang on, can you go ahead and link me Shadow Step really quickly?
What's the light situation in this room?
It is very bright in this room. There are no shadows.
Would he make a shadow though? And he's a large creature, so it'd be a big
Well,
shadow.
There does need to be dim light. You're right.
I mean, there are 4 where's my
tables?
There it is.
No,
I just dropped it
there's
in
well
chat.
there's various lights,
the sconces,
light sources around here. So there's 5 light sources. So
I
to
guess
speak.
I had to be in dim light. It has to be in dim light.
I think under the tables is where you're gonna find dim light.
What about here?
Okay. That works.
I'm sure they're like behind some of this storage stuff. Sure, you could teleport over there if you needed
So under
to.
the table right here is 15 feet. I can move with my movement and
Yes.
then bonus action.
Sure.
So let me.
Ironically, the first room is the opposite of the whole dungeon so far, lit like a firework.
Yep. Absolutely no darkness in any of these rooms.
Yep.
So that's technically 20 feet of movement, and then I will bonus action Shadow Step from under this table, and I believe I can make it to one of the other tables.
Yes, you can see dim light under all of them.
Okay. All right. So I will Shadow Step bonus action to here,
Nice.
and then I will move, I guess 5, 10 more, and I can hit it from there.
Just so you know, you can move diagonally for 5 feet.
Okay, so from here I would just move there. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so that means I've only used 25 feet of movement, and my Shadow Step is done.
Okay.
And I will use my first attack. It's going to be at advantage with my sword because I did Shadow Step.
Oh yeah. So we haven't seen. This is the first monk we have in Deadly Dungeon,
Yes, it is.
and you're playing a less common subclass, which is very exciting. And I commend you for taking that leap.
Party or first?
Can you link me? Oh yeah, it says it right here in Shadow Step. You then have advantage on the first melee attack you make before the end of the turn.
Yeah, and I actually change forms when I Shadow Step, and the president says, "Get off my plane!" as I move in for my attack with the
Nice.
sword.
All right, make an attack with advantage.
All right.
He does not have authorization to cook for the president.
23 will hit.
Got him.
All right.
And you had. Oh no, you're not a rogue, so you do not have a sneak attack.
4 damage, and my second attack, because I am full, so I do have 2 attacks.
Okay.
A 16.
A 16 will hit.
Do I get back attack? No, I'm kidding.
Nah, no back attack in Deadly Dungeon.
that's much
So somehow the
Ooh.
damage on that one was much more successful.
Min and max. Nice. Very good.
And then since I did attack him, my mobile allows me, I can move now 35 feet away. So
Yes.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh, yeah, you've got like
25,
60
30,
speed.
35.
Yeah, I
I'm sorry.
love
Yeah.
monks.
Yeah.
They're so
Yeah,
broken.
Because
because
you're-
mobility gives me
amazing.
10 more. I have 30.
Yeah,
and then
you're a
5
wood.
more.
You start off as a
Yeah.
wood elf with 35. Mobile gives you another, what, 10, 15?
Yeah, 10.
And then being a monk gives you an additional. So you've got, wow, 60
Yeah, 15
speed.
more. Yeah, so I have a lot of
Speedy
movement.
boy.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So
Okay.
I slink underneath both the tables and I end up on this corner. Actually, I might just be right there just because the table probably hides me better right there.
Yeah. Now you've got a better look at it over here. So there's a wood pile, obviously for the wood fire stove that delicious pizza you can smell cooking in there is used for. There's various barrels, boxes, what appears like a chest right here, and then sacks of various like fruits and grains and vegetables. And then there's this just jar of what looks like maybe
Honey?
a yeast.
Oh, okay.
Or a weird jam.
You had me thinking there was a honey jar in here.
Oh yeah, perhaps a honey jar. A closer look might tell you. Deckard, your turn.
All right. Deckard is going to move forward 5, 10, 15, 20. And then with his pike, he has 10 feet of reach. So I think he's going to attack this flying knife right there.
Okay. The knife.
Right.
Perfect.
And there's my first attack with a 14. Does that hit?
14 does not hit.
All right. He will try one more
let
time
me
with an
double-
11.
Hold on. Is that the right AC for flying swords? I need to double
Is
check.
it like 18?
I mean, they're gonna have a high dex, but 10 plus 4
Yeah,
is
they
still
do have. They do have. Oh no, these do not have very high dex. This can't be right.
Yeah.
Might be a case of you're attacking something
Oh.
that's metal.
It's the.
That's why it's hard to hit it.
Yeah.
Natural
Also,
armor.
it doesn't really have a body to attach to it, and normally the humor's the issue, not the weapon.
Oh, I think it's
Yeah.
under like animated armor, maybe.
It's fairly small.
Yes.
They're made of
Oh, yeah.
metal.
It's listed
Oh,
under
yeah.
animated armor.
Yeah, and their HP is rather low. Okay, so 2 misses.
2 misses. That's all that Deckard has for attacks, but he's going to continue movement 5 more feet here to stand next to Indy, and that is where his turn will stop.
Okay, that brings us to the top of our first round of combat. We will go back to Han.
I survey the field as my fellow Harrison spread out in front of me, and I think, oh, it's a beautiful sight. And I keep blasting at this guy.
At Gorbis?
Yep.
Perfect. Now, normally you'd make a ranged attack through another target, gives you like a AC pen, or gives them an AC bonus, but I think your wand lets you ignore half cover, right?
Let me place this thing in there. I ignore half cover.
Cool.
So unless they're fully behind things or like encased in like a 3/4 cover protective sort of thing.
Yeah. And, you know, they're also a giant, so I actually don't think it would have mattered anyway. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and make your attack.
All right. Where are we at here? I don't think I want to move. I kind of like the angle I'm at. This is fine. So we'll go ahead and take shot the first.
A 13 will not hit.
I will aim a little harder. Try once again.
20 will.
For 8 damage.
Ooh,
and we'll
nice.
push him back 10 feet.
5, and then he kind of just bumps into that, stumbles forward a bit.
Yep. And then we will 10 feet. We're gonna move 5 feet this way. Activate our shield.
Yes. All
Let's
right.
see, 4 hit points.
I
If
think-
you
I'll
have-
take it.
yeah, I believe Indy will go up from 3 temp HP to 4.
Oh, it should be zeroed, but yeah, definitely need it now.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It helps.
All right. And
I will move back behind this thing.
okay. That will bring us to Indy.
Yeah, I've had enough of these flying pots. It's not very nice. So I'm gonna one hand reach for my channeling for arcane focus, which is like a necklace, and I'll reach out and do shocking grasp on the pot.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
Ah.
Now, shocking grasp, that has advantage against things that are made of metal or have metal on them, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately, an 11 is not going to
11 does not hit. All right. I'm going to cunning action.
Ooh.
Disengage.
Okay.
Do you want me to link cunning action just once?
Yeah, please, for the viewers at home.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I can dash, cunning action, disengage, or cunning action, hide. And I'm going to disengage. And I was thinking of just carding them, but since my homeboy Deckard is here, I'm just going to move behind him.
Okay. All
and
right.
that'll be my turn.
Okay. Gorbis will go next. He is going to use his bonus action first. I think he's going to direct the flying knife and cleaver over here on the right towards Horde, since Horde got in a shot, and he doesn't want to just leave you completely unmolested. So these will come flying towards you, Horde.
Alright.
And then the flying kettle will advance towards Deckard. The flying cleaver will advance towards Deckard, which I believe...
I will activate polearm.
Yes.
My opportunity.
All right, we'll go ahead and...
Do you want me to link that as well?
Yeah, please. So
All right.
your reach is... you've got a reach weapon, so your range for attacks is 10. This entered your threatening range, which gives you, with Polar Master, the opportunity to make an opportunity attack. Oh, but you don't have Sentinel, so you can't stop it.
I won't stop it. I just get to hit it.
All right, an 18 will hit its AC. So now we get to see the amazingness that is your attacks. Okay, so you roll...
Sentinel and Polar Master not put together. Normally it's like PB and J.
Well, this is going to be like I don't know, some other awesome combination. I'm sure. So that is a 10. You rolled a 6 on your D10.
I'm going to keep the 6.
Okay, right. All right. So that will be 10.
Do you want me to link my Piercer feat now so we can?
Let's link it when you use it next.
Sounds good.
Okay. So the cleaver is going to continue its movement. It moved 5, 10, and this will be 15 here. And Gorbis will see you like just whipping around this. You have a glaive, right?
I have a pike.
Or a pike. Yeah, that's right. And you just are going to seem like the biggest threat. So you're going to have 4 of these flying pots and pans and things attack you, Deckard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 16.
My AC is 17 with splint mail.
Nice, very good. Gorbis will be frustrated with this and will step over here, and it's going to grab this pot in one of his hands, again wielding the pan shield in another, and he just basketball players just palming that basketball with one hand. He just grabs the top of this pot. It also looks like it's boiling, and he doesn't seem to mind.
Was the other cleaver in range to attack Deckard?
I made 4 attacks.
On my screen, it shows you haven't marked the damage or moved the cleaver, but I understand what you're mechanically doing.
Weird.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I hadn't already moved, and there was
I'm sorry. I'm not sure why it's not moving. I have it moved on my GM screen. I'm going to refresh this. One moment.
I just refreshed thinking mine was broken.
If you move it on the GM screen, we shouldn't be able to see it. It's on the GM screen.
Well, it's not on the GM layer, but I have, the GM, I have control over the token, and I moved it. So it should
It hasn't moved on his end.
Yeah. And now I can't... Oh, it must be my GM stuff, because I'm sending the, move everybody here command, and the other... My other account is not getting that, so there must be something going on here. There we go. Okay, and the cleaver still has not moved, so it must be on my GM side of things. What do you all say we go ahead and take our first break while I sort this out? Does that sound okay?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
All right.
Yeah,
apologies to everybody.
I have to go to the bathroom, so no worries.
It works out. We will be right back.
If you're extra sorry, I'll take a